Why was Hitler so evil? What happened to make him so demonic to humans? As a young boy, Hitler's father, truly a monster, would beat him mercilessly. The father, Alois, died when Hitler was a young teenager. His mother, Clara, who truly loved her son and treated him well, died quite young, age 47, when Adolf was 18. After that, Hitler led a depressing life in Vienna for a while. He attempted to get into the Academy of Fine Arts and was rejected. He painted well, especially postcard-like landscapes, and tried selling his art, but cameras made this form of work pretty much obsolete. See image, it's of the Hofbrau in Munich. It was hard for him to find employment, and he moved to Munich. So already he is an angry young man due to not being able to get into the art academy, and seeing other people getting ahead of him. When war broke out, he enlisted in the military and saw action on the Western Front. When Germany lost WW1, the nation was suffering from starvation, due to blockades by the Allies, poverty, due to reparations, and internal turmoil, communists and street fighting. All this led to many believing that Germany was stabbed in the back by its own politicians, the Kaiser had abdicated, and the Jews. All of this Hitler saw and believed, and in my opinion, this all boiled over to create a man filled with anger and hatred. Note that it did not extend to animals, as he loved them dearly.
23-year-old princess and said this coolly to her prospective kidnapper, who had just shot her chauffeur, and then her bodyguard twice and blasted her car windows in 1974. He tried to drag her out of the car for a kidnapping, and was intent on getting a $3 million ransom. A 6 feet 4 inch passing boxer, Ronnie Russell, below, saw the kidnapper, Ball, trying to drag him from the car and defying the danger from the 2 handguns the kidnapper held, punched Ball in the head. Jim Beaton, the wounded bodyguard, and Ronnie Russell each received the George Medal for saving his life. The Brits went wild when they heard that despite the vicious and nearly deadly fight, their princess had calmly told the criminal where to go. In terms of potentially fatal incidents, the Queen was shot at, Prince Charles was shot at, the Queen was visited in her bedroom by an unhinged trespasser, a man climbed Buckingham Palace walls with a crossbow to kill the Queen. Additionally, she had a fortunately mistimed IRA bomb explode after giving a speech in Ireland. So do you believe the UK United Kingdom taxpayers want to fund Sandhurst-trained, non-working Royal Harry's private protection? He is after armed security services from the Royal and Diplomatic Protection Squad of the Metropolitan Police, and is forcing taxpayers to pay for his court case costs in an attempt to gain the service. So short of NYC donating a yellow cab, which can travel at bicycle speed around London, and keep UK taxpayers happy, the truth is that no one cares about Has and Megs, so his claim for publicly funded protection is, in the words of his aunt, not bloody likely.
Not all were. Just like in every army that has ever existed, some soldiers are cruel and some are kind. In 1943, 2nd Lieutenant Charlie Brown had flown a successful B-17 bombing run against a German munitions factory. But even though the bombing run was a success, the B-17 was hanging on for dear life, as it came under attack by enemy planes, which knocked out the plane's oxygen, hydraulic and electrical systems, the number 2 and 3 engines, partially destroyed the number 4 engine, ripped out a part of the plane's exterior, damaged the tail as well as one of the wings, plus 11 guns were incapacitated. To make matters worse, most of the crew was injured and the tail gunner was killed. Lieutenant Brown struggled mightily to return the plane to base, of which he had only partial control. Luftwaffe pilot, Franz Stigler, came across the bomber in his Bf-109. Only needing one more enemy kill to win the coveted Knight's Cross, Stigler, instead, relented from downing the bomber, after seeing the terrified crew and blooded Lieutenant Brown. Stigler later said that shooting down the plane would be akin to shooting at a man in a parachute, as his commanding officer preached honor in the skies. Stigler even escorted the bomber for some time, ensuring its safety, and as he departed, he saluted Lieutenant Brown. Brown and Stigler met years later in a touching reunion. They both died 6 months apart from each other, in 2008. Brown was 87 and Stigler 92. This story is told in more detail by Adam Marcos in his book A Higher Call.